went back at it again. Oh, I forgot to check the lens for the GoPro as well as the lens area of the holder. Hopefully it's not too... What the heck? Why does everything hate me this weekend? I legit just started recording and it only lasts a couple seconds. I think that's the fastest it's done that. Like, memory card was empty. Deleted yesterday's footage right before I started recording. Bit gloomy out. I was gonna leave earlier, but it's colder, and I got lazy because I woke up and then went back to sleep. Well, my alarm went off at like 5:45, whatever it is, and I didn't wake up till sometime between 6 and 7, and I was in a bit of pain. Didn't change my gear ratio yet since I was lazy. It didn't feel good. I always let my back rest, so I didn't look for the chain breaker yet. What was that? That didn't feel good. I think the back wheel just shifted. Might have to realign it after I get back on. I was wondering about that with how I put it yesterday. I might have to tighten the bolts a little more. I had them tight, then I loosened them a little so they wouldn't be too tight. Just enough to have a little bit of play, but not too much. A little bit of slack never hurts on a single speed or a fixed gear. Since you're in the same gear all the time. Alright, let's see. Whoops. Actually, I'm going to check. I might have to go back home. I'm gonna check the cog. It might have came loose. I forgot to add a chain ring to it yesterday. I was so out of it when I finally got the bike working. So let's see. That may have been what, because it felt like it slipped or skipped. So I'll check after I go around this corner. I know, exciting content. Alright, just so I'm not in the way. Hopefully the person with the baby is going this way, not the same way I'm going, so I don't have to wait for him. But I want to look now because I'm going kind of far and there's some hills. Might as well just do it here. So I'm not in anyone. Okay. That seems alright. It just. That's the culprit. Okay. Guess I'll just fix it and then see what happens. I think I have my chain whip in my backpack, so of course, yeah, I have my chain whip, so of course, what's the worst? I can just tighten the cog and then deal with it. But since it wasn't that, since going to go on my way and be mindful, come on, while I ride. Most of it's downhill and straight away, but there are a few inclines in both directions. So I might just walk up them. Probably would have anyways, to be honest. Alright gear ratio for inclines, it just depends on the incline I'm dealing with. Okay. Unnecessary. Okay. Great content, I know. This is the side that has the bigger hole for whatever, the bigger axle dropout for whatever reason. Not sure how I got it to be yesterday. Tried using bigger bolts to see if that would help, but should be a little better, even though it's sketchy since it's tighter. Tried using these. I use these bolts with the washers because they have, as you probably saw, they're a little bit bigger. They kind of have like a witch hat vibe if we're talking guitar knob lingo. So we'll see. I was fine yesterday, but I'm not surprised. Hopefully I don't have to deal with it again. Mostly since there's so many downhills, that would not be fun. My mom followed me down here a few months ago because she happened to see me when she was leaving Starbucks. That's on others. That's at this other side of the overpass where I started walking. It's across the street, and she happened to have bought me or herself, I don't know. Either way, I ended up with a croissant. Not sure if she bought it for her or if she bought it for me and she just gave it to me in case I hadn't eaten, even though I had right before I left. So I ended up saving it until later in the day since I was full. Just waited till I got hungry again. She caught me mid package drop off. Offered me a ride, but easier to just do it on my bike. I would have had to take my bike apart, which isn't a hassle, but since I always have tools, but annoying, nevertheless. Gonna try and look for some bigger washers when I go home. Luckily, my dad ended up with all my, well, not all, most, the remainder of my grandpa's tools and hardware. He had more, but when my granny sold his pickup, there was a ton in there because at some point in the early 2000s he converted it, so there was a, back when they would go trailer adventuring across the states, he put it so there was a rollout that had a bunch of tools on it, and then along the sides too. Couldn't use it obviously to haul stuff, but he had all his tools he might need for the truck and trailer. So, but we ended up with a fair amount of his tools. But there's also two little assorted hardware, little drawers. I think they're divided. One is all washers, I believe. I forget. Or maybe washers and bolts or nuts, something like that. And the other one is all screws. So I might luck out and not have to buy. But if I do have to buy it, I might just do it. Just because it might help keep the tension. Since I live by a bunch of hills and I go up and down a bunch of hills, might as well make it as safe as possible. I try to be safe, especially after my last few injuries. I was already safe before, but even more so. And I'm feeling kind of lazy, so I'm probably going to walk up every hill in hopes that the tension stays and doesn't shift the wheel again. Which kind of sucks because this entire way is uphill for the next few minutes. 5 to 10 riding. So you can gather. Walking and riding. Switching off. Okay. Alright. Gonna look at a bunch of free stuff. Use the freebie alert app before I left to see if anything was up that I'd be interested in my general area, or if anywhere I'd go that was further out that isn't too far out of my normal routine. And before that, I planned on going to Benicia, and that is where the stuff is, so I left out. Just have to go up a kind of, it's easy to get to. Just gotta go up a really steep hill, then make a left pretty much at the top, it looked like, or right before. I think it goes, the street I need to go on leads to the street I'm turning off of. Once you make a left onto the street, and the house is like one of the first houses, but if you make a swift right, then it continues on. It's kind of split in two, so we'll see what happens. Walk up this. Maybe I can make it up the longer 2 hills. Sometimes I just walk up this one because how bumpy it is. Not having to switching kind of sucks. This is the faster way. When I googled it, there's 3 ways. And I probably would have went this way anyways, since I tend to. Ever since they reopened the overpass. I couldn't for like 6 months when they were retrofitting the overpass to make it height. They changed the height requirements, so they had to change all the overpasses in town that were under it, a foot or 2 under. That dog never likes me. Might get a dog. Speaking of dogs, we'll see. I think I mentioned it on Monday's video, since I was informed earlier that day in the late morning, early afternoon time. So we'll see. They just changed the rules at the Humane Society that's a mile away, which my mom and I didn't know. Now it's appointment only. That dog's cute. Hey, cutie. Look like a husky poodle, or poodle with something similar, but has upright ears, maybe German Shepherd or a Malamute or something. Cute though. If only I was going the other way, I would get that TV, and I didn't have, and I had one of my trailers. I wonder if it'll be there later. It's not that far from home. Take forever. Glad I didn't leave earlier. Probably would have been even slower due to it being slightly colder and my body being tweaked